David Smith here with one more Flip Classroom math video in the rain. 3 tips before we start. First, you can speed up or slow down the playback if that helps you digest the content. Second, you can pause the video anytime and catch up with your notes. Lastly, you could turn on the captions and watch my words go by on the bottom of the screen. Today's lesson covers more things we can do with composite functions. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with tables and graphs, and then we're going to do a word problem using composite functions. So check this out. I've given us 2 functions here to start. We have f of x and g of x, and these functions are just defined as ordered pairs. So in f of x, if you put -4 in, you get -2 out. There's the x and the y. Same thing for 3 and 4, and so on. G of x is this set of ordered pairs. And what happens is if you put -4 in, you get 5 out. Now, maybe we could spend some time to look and see if there's a rule that we could use to create these sets of ordered pairs, but we don't need to. We're just going to do some work just with these lists. So check this out. I want you to pause the video and see if you can figure out how to do this one. I want you to find f of g of -2. So give that a shot. Okay, let's see how you did. G of -2. We come down to our g function and we look at -2 as the input. What do we get out? We get 3. So g of -2 is 3. So now we take that output, the 3, and we put it into f of x. So f of 3 gives us 4. So the answer here is 4. Okay, I've made 3 more little problems for you. I want you to pause the video and figure out what these are. So go ahead and give that a shot. Here's what I get. Check your results. If you didn't get that, take another look and see if you can figure out where you went wrong. All right, let's do this from a graph. So over here, I've graphed 2 functions. The blue one is f of x. The red one is g of x. Now, we can quickly figure out the equations for these functions, but we're going to skip that step and we're just going to use the graph. So the first question is, what is f of g of 2? What is the result of this composite function? If you're feeling bold, pause the video now and see what you get. Okay, let's see what you get. So g of 2, let me take a look at my graph. I'm going to go to 2 for the x value, that's here, and I'm going to go up to the g line, and I get that. So g of 2 is 3, according to my hand graph. So g of 2 is 3, and now I'm going to do f of 3. I'm running the output from the g function into the f function. So now I'm going to go for 3 for x. And that also gives us 3. So f of g of 2 is 3. Now I just did that graphically. I want to give you another one. So try this one. G of f of -2. Use that same technique, use the graph, and go ahead and see if you can figure out what this composite function is. Okay, let's see how you did. F of -2. We're going to go down to -2 and we're going to read our value off of the f of x line. So that's going to cut over right there. So f of -2 is 2. Let's write that. F of -2 equals 2. Then we go for 2 for x and we read our value off the g line. So we're going to go to 2. Here's 2. Bum, 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 and over. And we got our 3 again. So g of f of 2 equals 3. Okay, let's do some problem solving and do that in the context of composite functions. Okay, so here's our example. We're calculating a life insurance monthly premium. And life insurance is just the kind of thing where I could buy a policy, I could pay $200 a month, and if I die before a certain age, the life insurance pays out a big chunk of money so that my wife or my family has money because now I have passed away and I'm not earning income to support that family. So I'm basically insuring the income that my life generates. Okay, so a lot of families do this just to protect the family. So the life insurance formula is this. P of n, so that's the monthly premium as a function of age. It's calculated by $1.25 times the current year, 2023, minus the age. Okay? So this is a potential formula for a life insurance policy, and I've defined my variables here. P of n is the premium, n is the year a person's born. I'm sorry, I said age here before. It's the year a person was born, okay? All right, so now this first step is a little strange. We want to take this thing apart, this deal here, and break it down into two functions so we can analyze it from the perspective of a composite function. So why don't you go ahead and pause the video and think about that for a minute. It's kind of a weird question, but let's see how far you get. Okay, I'm going to use f of n as my first function, and I'm going to use this term inside. It's the one that we calculate first when we do this calculation, and I'm going to write that as 2023 minus n. And what is that going to be? In terms of our scenario here, if this is the year the person was born, what is this little function going to tell us? It's the person's age. Current year minus year born. This is their age. Okay? Now see if you can come up with a second function. Let's go g of n. What kind of math would you put there, and what would that function tell you? Okay, this function is 1.25 times n. And that's the premium as a function of age. So monthly premium as a function of age. Okay? So this one is this whole term here is age. You put the age in, multiplied by 1.25, and you get the premium, the monthly premium in dollars. Okay, now we're going to use our functions in a composite kind of a way to answer a few questions. So here's the first one. How old is a person born in 1972? So you've got to use one of these functions here to do that calculation. Go ahead and pause the video and do that. Okay, I just used my f of n, my first function. F of 1972 is going to be 2023 minus 1972, which is 51. So this person who's born in 1972 is 51. Okay. Next question is, what is their monthly rate? So go ahead and pause the video and find that. Okay, their monthly rate is just given by g of n, where in this case it's the age. So we just do g of 51. That's 1.25 times 51. Don't forget your units. And there you have it. One last question. So, Bob's monthly premium is $81.25. That's what he pays every month for his life insurance policy. What year was he born? So go ahead and see if you can solve that one. Okay, let me give you a hint if you got stuck. Whenever you have a formula and they give you one of the values and ask you to find another, your first step is always a straight up a plug-in step. So you put what you know where it goes. So we know the premium. So the premium goes here, 81.25 equals 125 times 2023 minus n, where n is the year born. That's what we're trying to find. So now we have our plug-in step done. Now it's just a bunch of straightforward algebra to solve for n. So go ahead, if you haven't done that already, do that now. All right, let's see how you did. I just rearranged my equation. I divided through by 125. That gives me 65 equals 2023 minus n. Then I rearranged to get n alone, and I have n equals 1958. So Bob was born in 1958. Thanks for watching. Just before you go, make sure to write down any questions that you have so that you can bring them to our next class and get them answered. Also, remember that you can watch the video again if you want to deepen your understanding. Finally, if you enjoyed the video, please click like or subscribe.